Hello everyone, welcome to CodeView. So today we are going to implement Firebase CRUD operation in our application. So I have just started an application. It's a basic application that we get our Firebase, and let us go to firebase.google.com and please click on the go to console button and let's add our project. Let's give a name for our project and let's click continue, and if you need analytics please click on continue and then accept the agreements and click create project. So project will be created and we will be doing a countries and its codes application here. So we will store countries and its corresponding code in our Firebase Firestore database, and we will retrieve this to our application and we will then use data to render, and also we will update our country code or country name, and also we can delete our country code and name, and also we can add a new country code and country name. Okay, Firebase setup has been completed. Let's click an Android add an Android app and click on the Android button and please give the package name here. Let me type my package name com dot and let me copy my app name. You can see my app name as Firebase CRUD. Let me copy it and let us add this to our package name. So this is my package name, and let us give a nickname to our app and let's register our app. Okay, after the registration has been completed, we will get a google services.json file. Let me download it, and after downloading it, go to the location where it has been downloaded and let's copy this file to our application folder. So we need to copy the file and then let's go to our project location and inside Android and inside the app please paste that file. Okay, I think you got the location. Next we need to do some other configuration. Let us copy the code they have given. Firstly we can choose the copy this file line and go to the build.gradle inside our Android. You can see that, and inside the dependencies please add this line. Okay, then we need to add some lines to our app/build.gradle. So let's copy these lines. So please don't miss the location of the file. It's in the android/app/build.gradle. Okay, don't miss it. Inside the dependencies please add these lines, and then also we need to add one more line, and let's add those two, and again we need one more line. That's our apply plugin line, so let's add that too. Okay, that's fine. Our app implementation has been done. Now we need also two packages for our application. One is our Firebase core. Let's copy it and let's include it in our pubscript.yam file. So you can see the dependencies here. Let us add the dependency Firebase core, and also we need our Cloud Firestore as our dependency. So let us add that too. So that's all. Let us save and Flutter pubget will run. Please wait for it, and also now we can run our application. Now you can see the basic app that has been created. Let's run our application. Okay, meanwhile while the app runs, let us go to our Firebase, and we need some configuration left there, so we can do that. And also we need to create our Firestore database to store our country names and its corresponding codes and all. So for that, let me go to the so here you can see that we have to click next after this step and continue to console. So you can see that our app has been added. Now we need to go to our Firestore. So you can see that a Cloud Firestore option is there. Click on it, and hence you can see our Cloud Firestore will load. So here you have a button called create database. Let's click on it, and you have two modes. For now we can continue in test mode and click next, and you select a location and just enable. So after this we will get our Cloud Firestore database setup. Okay. So in this Firestore we will first add our dummy data and we will read it from our app. Okay. So let's wait. Yeah, okay, it has been done. And here we will store the data as a collection. Your collection contains a collection of documents. So let me create a collection. Countries as is my collection. Okay. Okay, next, and we have different document to store different country details. So firstly, we have two fields. One is for name, and let me give it as India, and other field is for code, and the India code is IN. Okay, then let me add as new field that it's be timestamp, and it will be have a type of timestamp. Okay, this timestamp is used to arrange our data according to the creation orders. For that only I am using this timestamp. So we will sort our data according to timestamp. Okay, that you will understand better afterwards. Okay, that's all. And let's choose the ID as an auto ID, and let's click save. So we will get our new collection, and also we had inserted our document. You can see that this is our structure. We have name, corresponding code, and also a timestamp, and this is the ID that we give to our document. So the collection contains so many documents, and each documents contain a code, name, and a timestamp. I think you get the database structure. So our app has been built, and you may face some error while building our application. So I haven't solved it because I can show you how to solve it. So if you face this issue, you can solve that too. Okay. So you can see that this will be the issue that when you are running the application that you may face. So let me show you what's the issue and how to solve it. Okay, this will be the issue that will come when you try to build it. Okay, and you can see that reference in .text file cannot exceed 64. This is the main reason for the issue, and if you face this issue, go to your build.gradle inside the app, and inside the default config tag add a new line called multi-text enabled. This line will solve this issue. Okay, I have included this part to understand whether what to do when you face this issue. Okay, I think you get it. Now let's save and run our app once again, and let's see what happens. So I think you get our database structure. While the app runs, let me explain you the database structure once again. We will have a collection of documents. These documents contains our country name, country code, and a timestamp. So the collection means a document collections. So we will add a new document. We will retrieve documents from Firebase database, and also we will update documents with the document ID, and also we delete documents. Okay, that we will be doing. Okay, now let's look our app. Our app has been built successfully. Now let's go to our lib file, and let me create a new file, database.dart. In this file we will handle all our database related details. Okay, we will use this database class object to initialize and all. Inside that, let me initialize a Firebase Firestore object. Let us name it as Firestore, and let us import it also. Now then let's create a initialize method, and inside the initialize method we will initialize this Firestore instance. Okay, with this Firestore instance we'll do all our operation, including addition, updation, deletion, and all. Okay, I think you understand it well. So okay, that instance. So we will, by this line we will get the Firestore instance. Now let us create the read method. So we have one country, that's the India, and its country code available in our database. So let us add this. Okay, then we will read that data. So for that, we have a try catch. So if that any error comes, we can print the, so that's, let me use a try catch. And also we will get a query snapshot from our data firestore.get method. So I will show you. Let me declare that variable, and let's query snapshot equal to await, and then we will use the firestore instance dot collection, and like our collection name is countries, and then we will use the dot get method to get our data. This data will be written as a query snapshot type. That's why we declared a variable as query snapshot, and this query snapshot contains our documents. So we must do it iterate through these documents. Okay, so for that, let me check whether the query snapshot is not empty, so that we can check whether not empty or not. So if query snapshot documents is not empty, then we need to iterate through these documents and return this as a list of items. So for that, let us do a for loop. Okay, so the query snapshot documents contains our documents list, so we need to convert it into our required data format, and we will return from this function. Okay, for that, let me declare for var doc in query snapshot dot docs dot list. Okay, so this will gives our documents as a list, and we will iterate to it using this for loop. Okay, I think you got it. Okay, query snapshot dot docs dot to list, and after that we will get each list, and we will iterate into it, and we will declare a map variable, so we can convert our document to a map format. So the id will be doc.id. so each document has a unique id we have created there, and we will use that id, and also our name, it has a dot get field, or also we can use another way. We have two ways to get document.get. We have two ways to get our field names. First one is document.get, otherwise we can use doc directly. Okay, you can see that it's pretty simple. And for the code path, let it be doc and within the square bracket code. Now we will get our document id, document name, and document code as a map. Now we need to add this map to a list, and we will return the whole list from this function. So when we call our this function from somewhere else, here we will get our whole document as a list. Okay, for that we have implemented this read. So let's declare the variable list docs and insert it. We will add docs.add a. So we will get our document as a list which contains a list of maps, and the maps contains our document name and its corresponding code, and also the id. So it will return our document. So I think you got the idea. So this read method will return a list that contains the documents. Okay, that's all about our read. Now we can check whether we can view our data in our main page, and let's look. So first of all, we need to go to our main method, and let us add our app as a Firebase app. So we must initialize our app as a Firebase and app firstly. So in the main.file, please include await Firebase dot initialize app. So this method will initialize our app as a Firebase app. Before doing any Firebase related thing, we must initialize our app as a Firebase app, otherwise you will get some error. Okay, so it will initialize our app as a Firebase app, and then we can go to our home page, and let's create our database object. Okay, so we have created a database class in the database.file. So we want to use its object to use the method. So we will create a database object, and I'm going to create a initialize method which will initialize our database, and also which we can use the read operation in this method. Okay, so db equal to database of, so our db is now instantiated as a database object. Now we can use our db to use its methods. So let us use db dot initialize first. So our Firestore instance will be instantiated. You can see that we have called this method right from the, and now let's use our read method. Okay, db dot read, and then it will return a value in feature. So you can let us use the dot then value, and then we can use a set state, and for the set state method we will store the value in a list. Okay, let us declare a list variable. List docs is our variable. Okay, and we will set the data that come from our read method to the docs that we created just before. So we will have the list of items in our docs. Okay, now we can implement our UI part. I will create a list view.builder, and then I return a card inside it, and inside it I return a list tile which contains a content padding and a title. Title will be our document dot name, or our doc of name, and also the trailing will be our doc of code. So we will only have one data, and it will be India and IN for the name and code. That will be appear after we compile this code. Okay, and also I have given the item count as docs.length. Okay, and let us change our scaffold color. Okay, I will use a darkish green color to render our scaffold. Okay, let us do it, and then we can run our application and check whether it works or not. Okay, okay, now let's restart our application and let's see whether there is some error or not. And also we forgot to call the initialize method. Let's do it in our init state method, and let's wait for the application to run. And I think now it's clear. Okay, there's some error. Let's go and look what's there. Yeah, okay, if you face this issue after you have done, you must include a line just above our firebase.initialize app. You can see that Flutter widget binding dot ensure initialize. This must be called before our firebase.initialize app. So now our application will work perfectly, and you will see our list tile and the name as India and our code as IN. You can see that. Okay, our app works perfectly, and you can just change our app bar also. So you can see that our app works perfectly, and we got the data that has been stored in our Firestore. Okay, we have read the data and can store it in a list, and we iterate to the list and we show it them. You can see that. Let us add another document and let's see whether it's come there or not. And for the name I will give it as Japan, and let's give the code as, I don't know Japan code. Let's give JP, and let's save it. Before that I have forgotten to add timestamp. Let's add timestamp, and for the timestamp let me use the current time for our timestamp. Okay, then after the timestamp has been added, let us save our document. So we will have now two documents, one is Japan and one is India. Let us restart our application and whether it shows or not. So we must now get two list tile, one is for Japan and one is for India. Let us look. Yes, there comes it, Japan and India. Now you may think that Japan has been added as second and it shows in the first. To avoid this, we will use a order by after the collection dot. So after the collection we will give dot order by, and we must give a field. We will give the timestamp as the field. Okay, and we will get data according to the timestamp order. Okay, let's restart our application and looks what happens. Now India will come first and Japan will come the second. So that's how we can order our data. Okay, if we need it to be in a reverse order, we can also include another parameter. Okay, that's we are not discussing. Let us create a view.dat file, and this file we will use to view our country name and data, and we will edit our data in this file. So I have just copied some files, and you can see that the files some codes, sorry, and we will pass our country and the db object to this widget, and the country contains the country name, country code, and also the id, and we will declare to text editing controller, and by using this text editing controller we will store the country name and country object passed this, and we will use to text form field, and we will display the passed country name and country code, and we can edit using this text field. And also we have declared a controller, and we also initialize the controller that comes to this widget, and you can see that we have also created an input decoration, and I have used the decoration for two of our text field. And also that's all about this widget, and let us pass the control to view.child when the user taps on it. So we will declare the on tap property, and then we will navigate to our view.dat file. So let us navigate navigator.push, and we will push to our next page using the material page route, and let the builder be context, and we will give the view.dat file as our next page. Okay, so view, and we need to pass country as our parameter for this file. For that, let us choose the current country. For that, let me use the country colon, then the country will be docs of index. So we have the docs list of documents, and we need to choose the current documents. For that we will use the index, and for the database object we will use the db object that we instantiated just above. So now it's done, and let us look what happens when we click on the application. So before that, don't forget to restart our application and just click on it. Now if we click the list tile, we must go to the next page, and we will see the country code and name there, and also we can edit our code and name though. Okay, you can see that it works, and the country name and country code has been there, and we must now update our database according to the changes that has been made by user in this page. For that, let me create a update method in our database.dart file. So let us create the update method, and void update. Here we will receive the id of the document to be updated, and also we will receive the name that has to be updated, and also we must receive the code that has to be updated. So inside that we will receive all our data that is need to be updated. Let's now declare a try catch block, and inside that we will use our Firestore object, and for the Firestore object we will use each specific document. So let's see that. Before that, let me clear this error so I could get the predictions, and so that I can code fastly. Okay, so Firestore dot, and we will choose our collection, and our collection name is countries, and after that we will use the doc, and we need to choose a specific document. So we will choose the specific document by using its id, and we will choose the update method of this document, and we need to give the data in JSON format. For that I will declare a map inside it and pass the name and code that has been received this folder. Okay, this is how we will update the data. I think you understand this step. Let's declare it as async. Okay, then that's all. Now if we call this method passing these values, we will update our data. Okay, that's all about how we can update. Now we can include the update method in our save button, which has been included in our bottom app bar section of our view.dat file. So I have commented the code to update, so you can see that widget.db. so the db was here, and we will call the update method that we just created above, and we will pass the country id, and also we will pass the name controller to text and code controller to text as the name and code. And after that we will pop our view.dat page, and we will also pass a true to our cold page, so we can check whether the application has updated, and if the value not null, then we can call the initialize method, so we can reflect our change in our main page. For that only we return our value from the cold page. Okay, this is to avoid when the user has pressed the back button and he doesn't update anything, so we don't need to update our list. For that we are passing a value inside our navigator.pop. Okay, we will call the initialize method, so our data will be updated accordingly. Let's restart our application and checks what happens. Now the app has been restarted, and let's check whether our application works perfectly or not. So you can see our two countries, and let us change our Japan to a small letter, so it says Japan, and let's save it. And yeah, it works perfectly. Our Japan has been changed. Okay, now we can add our create property. So for that I will copy my view.dart file, and let me create a new file, add.dart. so in this file we will implement our add functionality. So let me paste the code, and let us, in this case we don't pass our this.country variable, because we will not have a country, and we will are going to create a new country, so we only need our database object, and so we will not initialize it though. So that's all about our initialization part. And now we need to comment this out, so it is the code that to update our, here we will implement our add functionality code. Okay, now okay, we have forgotten to change our class name, so it must be a add class. So let's replace view with add, then let's replace all entries. So okay, now it has been replaced, and in so okay, single child scroll has been updated to single child scroll add. Okay, let's change it. Now it's good, it looks fine. Let's restart our application, and let's pass our functionality to that page. So that let us go to our main.dart file, and for the inside the floating action button on pressed method we will implement this navigator.push method, and we will push the control to our new page that has been created, which is our add page, and we need to pass our database object, that is our db object, to this variable, and we will use the db object to add new country to our Firebase database. Okay, and let's me import our add. Okay, now it's fine, and let us, now we need to do the then case, because we will return a true value if we updated or if we created successfully, and we can check whether it's not null, and after it is not a null value we will call the initialize method once again. Okay, I think you get the idea. So now it will works perfectly. Let us go to our database.dart file. We need to create a create method to create a new country. So for that let me create a create method. Okay, then for the create method, it will receive as name and also a code, and this name and code, by using this name and code we will create a new document and we will push that document to our Firebase database. Let's similar to update. Let us copy the code from the update method and let me paste the, and here we will use the Firestore method, and we need to change this document.collection, and after the document.collection dot we can use the add method, and the data will be the data that has been passed to this method. So we will update the data in JSON format. Okay, so let's give the map inside our add method. Now we will add our data, and also we need to add a timestamp. Don't forget about the timestamp. So for the timestamp we will use the field value option and server timestamp. This will get our server's timestamp, and the server timestamp will be stored accordingly. Now let's call the create method from our add.dart file. Okay, so inside the onPressed method, let me add db.create, and we will pass our name as name controller.text. So okay, it's widget.db. Okay, and inside the create we will pass our name controller.text as the first parameter, and then we will use the code controller to get the text of the second text form field, and we will pass it there also. That's all about our create method. Now we can pop our screen. So navigator.pop, and we will also pass a true value after it, so the main page can identify it has been updated, and we must change the UI accordingly. Okay, so let's save our application and checks whether it works perfectly or not. I think you get the idea and all. So we have implemented create, read and update functionality, and I'm going to check whether it works perfectly or not. Let's click on the plus button and we will get our new page, the added page of our application, and we will give the country name and country code. Let us give the country name as United Arab Emirates, and also the country code as UAE. So okay, okay, now let's save it. So you can see that our app list has been updated with the new country. Now we only have one left. We need to have a delete option. So we have already given the button, but we don't implemented it. So for that, let me go to the database.dart file and we will implement a delete method here. So the delete method will receive a ID which to be deleted as its parameter. So we will receive the ID which has to be deleted, and by using this ID we will find a document to be deleted, and we will use the delete method of the document to delete it. So it's also just similar like our create command. Let's copy this, and after that let us make it a hatching method, and then we will delete our document. So let's find a document by using the doc method, and we will use the ID to find our document, and then we will use dot delete method which will delete our document. Okay, it's pretty simple. Okay, that's fine. Now our document will be deleted after we call this function. Let's call it in our view.dart file. For the icon button, we have implemented the icon button in the app bar, and you can see the onPressed method. We will call here widget.db.delete method, and we will pass the country ID using the country map. We have passed this function. So after that we will also pop our screen. So let's see whether it's works perfectly or not. Then we can restart our application and check whether it works or not. So please wait for the application to restart, and then I think my system is somewhat slow. Okay, it works. And let us click on the list, and let's click on the delete button. Okay, it goes out. So we have deleted our list item, and we have implemented CRUD operation on this Firebase database. This file is the important file, and I will be sharing the GitHub link and all this code for your reference. And I think you understand these operations. That's all about this video. If you like the video, please hit the thumb icon, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will be doing more contents like this. And please share support. That's all about this video. Okay, then bye.